Well, good day to everyone out there. We have another episode here of Meet Some of Our Students, and I am pleased to bring you today. I'd like to introduce to you first a few of the people that are going to play roles from our high school musical production that, of course, is not going to make it to the stage, but we wanted to give them an opportunity for you to meet them. So we're going to meet today our Miss Darbuses. If I could ask you to come to the screen, please. We have our Ms. Darbuses. Click in. There we go. So we have Sydney and Samantha and Eden. We also have Charlotte. Are you there, Charlotte?
Yeah.
There you are. And there's Charlotte. So all of these ladies are playing Ms. Darbus. And then we also have in our waiting room, I'm going to get them to come on now too, our Coach Bolton. So come on in. There we got Amelia, and Anne. And what lovely ladies we have here with us today. And thank you so much for giving us your time. I know that maybe you've had to skip school or maybe take some time out from doing homework or something, but I love Charlotte. Raise your hand so everybody knows who Charlotte is. Charlotte's in a Miss Darbus getup. I love your choices. You are always so fun and willing to do anything. That's a good old Charlotte. So I have a few questions for you all, and if you have an answer, just pipe in, okay? So first of all, I want to start off by asking you, what did you like about your role specifically? Anybody have an answer? Just put your hand up like that and we can just... Charlotte, go ahead.
So I like how Miss Darbus is very flashy and she cares, like everything she cares about has to do with musical theater. So, yeah, and she's all out there.
She absolutely is. Oh boy, there's no holding back on that role, is there? No. Yeah. And Eden, you had something else to add?
She's really open, and she's like...
What do you mean by open? Can you be a little bit louder too?
Like, she really means she really
I think we're having an internet issue. Like your sound is sort of in and out. Can you try saying it again?
Like for some words that are in the theater.
Yes.
Like that, it's normal thing, but then when you word theater and musical, she says just
Okay, I think we're having a bit of an internet issue with your household. Some of your words come through and some of your words don't come through, but I think I got the gist of what you're trying to say. Yeah, she definitely likes to punch her words out, right? Is that what you were trying to say? Things like that? Very expressive. Anything else? Does anybody else, any other Darbuses have something to say? Yes, Sydney?
She's not afraid to be who she really is, and that's what I like about her. Because she's not afraid to express what she's feeling.
Mm-hmm. True, definitely. And you guys can all unmute your microphones now. I just wanted them muted when you were in the waiting room. So what about our Coach Boltons? What did you guys like about your role? Who wants to go first? Okay, Anne.
I like that Coach Bolton is really energetic and he mostly sticks to the rules, which is, I guess, a big part of my personality. So just seeing myself reflect on a character that I'm playing makes me really like that role.
And that's a really good point, Anne, because that's something that you do in order to make your role really believable, you have to try to relate some part of what it is that you're trying to convey to some sort of experience that you may have had personally. And that's kind of hard for people who are as young as you to do that, because I mean, you're not an adult. You haven't been around for 20s of years. You know, you don't have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of years of life behind you. So it's great that you say what you said, because if you feel like that is a good point, like following the rules. And I do see you as that kind of person too. So I can see how you'd be able to relate that to Coach Bolton. Yes, that's a very, very good point. Anybody else on that question? We're going to move forward then, and I'm going to ask you guys next. Tell us a little bit about your history. What's brought you to this particular role today? What other things have you done in the past? Samantha?
Well, I've been doing Marquee since I was 6, and I started off with the summer camp Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh, that was so fun.
Yeah, and I've come a long way since, from like a little ensemble role up to Miss Darbus, and it's been really fun being here for a long time.
Mm.
Really love doing a lot of musical theater.
Fantastic. Malia, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I started when I was 6, like Samantha. I started when it was Hairspray. So that was already like a big show itself, so that made me want to keep going. So
Yeah, you were very, very, very shy when you first came. Like really shy. You always had this big smile, but you were very, very shy. And that happens. Like that's one of the greatest magical things about theater. I mean, I don't know if all of you can sort of relate to this, but theater really helps you to come out and understand that there's no better, you feel safe in theater, and you can, you're among people that have a similar like to you, right? And we are a team, and we do silly things. And yes, sometimes we laugh and we have fun, and right? So, and laughing at funny things is not always an embarrassing thing, right? That's the hardest part, is that allowing yourself to laugh at you, that when you maybe make a mistake or something like that, it's kind of hard to do at first. But then when you realize, oh, no big deal, right? How about you, Amelia? What's your background?
Well, this is actually like my first show, I guess.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
You got to start somewhere, right? So what made you want to do this in the first place? What is it that brought you here?
Well, like my friend was doing it, and I like it seemed really fun, and I don't know, yeah. And
So
I
good.
actually wanted to do it for like a long time, but then like I was like kind of too like nervous to like sign up, but
Yeah. And that happens because, you understand that if you don't have a background, if you don't, like, the younger you start, the easier it is, because you're usually a little bit more fearless when you're younger. But as we get older, and then you're probably thinking, correct me if I'm wrong, if maybe you had a different opinion, but you know that this has to go on a stage in front of people, right? And that can be definitely intimidating. I know many adults who wouldn't be, there's no way they're going to set foot on the stage. But I know that it's too bad that we're not going to get to go to the stage specifically for your situation, because I think you would have really grown from that. And but I could see your journey. You were already on that pathway, and I'm hoping that what you got to do in class before our good old friend COVID-19 came along, that you've found that this is a lot of fun, this musical theater journey. And maybe, did you make any other friends along the way?
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sydney.
This is my first show is at Marquee as well,
Mm-hmm.
but I've done other things in the past.
Yeah.
Like I
Cool.
did a few musicals at a different place, but
Yeah.
I didn't really think that it gave me what I wanted.
Mhm.
Like they didn't put as much effort into it.
So
So I
you
thought-
felt a difference when you came to Marquee?
Yeah, big
Okay.
difference.
Oh, good. Well, that's great to hear. Charlotte?
So, yeah, just same as Samantha. I started musical theater when I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
I started with Winnie the Pooh in kinder stages.
I remember
And
that.
I played Rabbit.
Yes.
And High School Musical is now my 14th musical with Marquee. So, yeah, I love it. It's so fun.
I am so glad to hear that. Eden, did you have your hand up for something? Now we can't hear you at all again. Is Mommy nearby? You can go get her. Yep. And while she's gone to try to get this all fixed, I'm going to ask you for one last question. Is there any funny stories that has happened to you in theater? Any memorable something? Because it's live. Things happen, right? All right, Sydney, go ahead.
I did this one production of Beauty and the Beast, and I played Belle, and there was one scene where it's like the Beast is dying, and she's like there, and she's like, "Don't go, I love you." But the Beast has this mask on.
Yes.
Fell off. And
all of a sudden he's a prince.
And the guy who played the Beast, he was like, "Oh no, you've seen my true form." It was really funny.
Well, that was very creative. And this is why we play like improv games. We play a lot of improv games because you have to learn how to think on your feet for moments like that. Exactly. Samantha, something else?
Well, when I played Anna in the Frozen summer camp, I was doing like a scene with Hans, and I was like lying down, and one of like the teachers, it was during rehearsal, and she was like, "Hey, you have to look like a board when you were lying," because I looked like curved, and it was really funny.
Too funny. Malia.
I've had a lot of funny things just because so many things happen, but I think my favorite one was in Aladdin when it's the scene where Aladdin's being taken away by the guards and Omar comes out and he's like, "Oh my gosh." So in rehearsal, that scene happened and I run on stage and instead of saying my line, which is Babcock Kasim help Aladdin, I said Babcock Kasim, Babcock trouble, and the entire room just started dying.
And did you think it was funny too?
I didn't think it was funny until I looked at like my friends and they were just
Those little tricks, the trip on the tongue things, you know, and that's another thing that we try to do. Some tongue twisters are good for that. But sometimes our brains just get mixed up. It's life. It happens, right? Anne, did you have something?
Well, from the same scene that Malia was talking about, I was also Omar, and when I was supposed to say "Hey Aladdin, I got you some baklava," then scream.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason during rehearsal, the scream didn't come out, and it just sounded like So, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Eden, can you talk now? Is it fixed? Just be nice and loud. What were you going to say?
So, how I started Marquee is when I was also sick, and I did the Family.
Adam's Family, yes.
Liked it, so then I did Rock of Ages the next year, and then I did Willy Wonka and Frozen, and then Aladdin, and then now.
And you had a nice role in Aladdin, didn't you? What was it? It was Iago. It didn't come, the sound didn't come through. The bird. Yeah, Jafar's right-hand bird. Well, listen, ladies, I want to thank you so much. We're going to bring this interview to a close, and hopefully you'll get to watch some of the other ones that we're going to be posting, because we've got some more lined up coming your way. And I thank you once again. Hopefully we'll see you again in another Marquee program in the near future. And wonderful, wonderful, wonderful interview. You guys are pros, and thank you once again. Let's give a wave And you know what? There's a song in this show that has a title that we want to give a message out to everybody. Do you know which one I'm talking about? We'll say it on 3, 2, 1. We're
all in this together.
together.
We're all